My name is Melvin Montalvo Otero, and today I will be sharing some information about a topic that worries me a lot. This topic will be how, little by little, we are dying internally thanks to the myths and legends that are had about the food that we must consume or the typical American diet. Before starting with the topic of how harmful the typical American diet can be or is, we must first define a very important concept on this subject. This concept is the word carbohydrates. What are carbohydrates? So, carbohydrates are the sugars, starches, and the fibers found in the fruits, grains, vegetables, and even on products based on milk. Now that we know and have a clear concept of what carbohydrates are, we are ready to begin with the presentation and explanation of the point of view of many doctors throughout the entire world. Now, we will talk about a disturbing topic, and it is the obesity in our society. To begin, it must be emphasized that the typical American diet or healthy diet is not correct. You may be wondering why does he says that if this rule has been followed for many decades and everything is fine. Well, everything is okay. It's what many say. However, the reality is that this is not the case. Many studies have shown that there is a worldwide obesity pandemic. However, speaking only of the United States, we are the country with the most obesity and with the most obesity related health conditions. In order to understand much better the phrase I said a moment ago, which was America's healthy diet is not correct, there's a story very well related to this phrase. This story is about a man named Late. Late in 2009 was 36 years old, weighed 165 pounds, exercised often, and ate the typical American diet. Despite having a good healthy life, many people might think Late was diagnosed with diabetes. The most impressive thing is that he does not even have a family history of people with this disease. What could have happened to Leif to make him have diabetes if he had a healthy life? Well, now you will know. Well, there are several factors that could affect the health of a human being without the need for that human being obese or have overweight problems. These factors could be the following: food portions, the food pyramid, myths about how good carbohydrates are, the market and how they market products, fast food establishments, fast food prices, and technology. Those are just some of the factors or reasons that are causing us to be overweight and illness due to poor nutrition. We will start by talking about portions in food. For several years, restaurant portions have increased by up to 60%, thanks to the fact that in restaurants, the portion of food have increased drastically in our houses too. We arrive at our homes with a mind predisposed to expect large portions of food, and we increase the plates and the quantity that is served. Now, we have to talk about the subject of the food pyramid. This pyramid it's only full of problems since it tells us that we must have a food system of more carbohydrates and less fat. This is totally wrong for several reasons. The first one is that it has never been proven that this pyramid really works. Many children are instilled with this pyramid from school. However, thanks to this pyramid of errors called the food pyramid, nowadays the rate of children with obesity have increased. Since 2000, pre-diabetes cases in children of the ages of 12 to 19 years have tripled. This means that these generations will be the generations to die younger and by more deaths from diabetes. It has also been discovered that there are epidemic of overweight infants. At least 1 in 3 eventually have problems with their weight. All this caused thanks to the food pyramid. This problem has also been seen to affect adults. Diabetes in adults is progressing so rapidly that it is estimated that by 2050, 1 in 3 Americans will be diabetic and 2 in 3 will be obese, not overweight, obese. This is something that has clearly been caused by misguidance. Diabetes is caused by this situation that it's created thanks to the pyramid, and it is believed that eating a lot of carbohydrates and eating less fat is better. The worst of all is that it works the other way around. More natural fats and less carbohydrates. You're not supposed to eat too much fat, but you cannot substitute the fat for carbohydrates. For many years, the sales of grocery products have been marked since they promote these products and consumers end up buying only for what they see. For example, if we look closely, we can see that children's products always have some type of cartoon representing the brand or in a promotional way. We are used to this sales system, so it's totally normal for us to see this. However, it is not normal that in fast food places such as McDonald's and Burger King, the combos for children have toys to attract the consumers, that in this case are the children. Something very curious is that if a child is asked that he prefers to eat between Burger King and Wendy's, the child will choose Burger King just because of the toy, although at Wendy's the food is of better quality. However, it's not healthy, it's just better quality. This is how the marketing system for many products is made. Another great example of this is the energy drinks. In the advertisements, we can see athletes consuming them. However, it is not a secret that in a competition, athletes consume water and not these energy drinks. Many times, the prices of the products attract us. We compare prices of the same product in different brands to get the cheapest one, although it is not necessarily of the best quality. Fast food restaurants are not the exception. People who buy food in fast food restaurants are because they find the prices convenient and because they buy food that can be eaten quickly. The problem is that these restaurants may seem cheap at first, However, in the future, you will have to pay medical expenses, medicines, and studies because the chances of you having a disease such as diabetes are very high. Eventually, fast food restaurants end up killing you little by little. Do you know what's the seventh leading cause of death in the United States? If you said diabetes, you are correct. Being the seventh leading death in the United States, we could also say it's one of the most expensive. In 2012, citizens in the United States paid approximately 245 billions of dollars in expenses related to diabetes. You eventually end up suffering from heart problems, blindness, nerve damage, and even foot amputations from diabetes. And the diabetes caused by food that seems cheap at first. On the other hand, real and healthy food may cost a little bit more at the beginning, but in the future you will be better, and it is more likely that you will not have a mortal disease such as diabetes. The technology, it's helpful, but it's also affecting our health. When we eat in front of a TV, we won't stop eating until the show is over. We may want to eat a dessert, chips, or junk food that will not make us any good. Our minds are controlling our eating standards. And another thing is that if we are eating with someone else, we wouldn't stop eating unless the other person does. So we end up sizing up our portions and eating more just because we are eating with other person and in front of a TV. This also happens when we are eating and using our phones. At the same time, we could be watching a show or just browsing around on the social media. But this affects our health just like the TV. So please try to eat without watching TV or using your phone. My opinion in this topic is the following. Citizens need better education regarding the food system from which they should get carried away. The food pyramid, as I explained before, it is not correct and has never been proven to work. Carbohydrates are slowly killing us, and many do not know it. It is very difficult to go to the supermarket and find low carbohydrate food, so the solution has been set for many years, but we must follow it. If we start to grow our own food, or at least buy what we consume from an agricultural center, our lives will change positively. If not, we can never hope to live longer. Eating healthy is the key to a happy life. You have to stop thinking how you're thinking. You have to realize now that it is the best to lead a healthy life based on natural fats and few carbohydrates. We have to follow other rules and not necessarily the ones that we have been told throughout our lives. Many people think that just by exercising they are already safe and will never give them any disease related to poor nutrition. However, it is not that simple. If a person needs to go to the gym to be able to maintain a specific weight, then that person has a very bad diet. And to have a full and healthy life, you need to exercise your body, but you should also eat in a moderate way, in normal portions, less carbohydrates, and more fats. And finally, the little tips that I have given during this presentation should be followed. It would be good if you think of a very interesting phrase, and that phrase is the following: pay the farmer now or pay the doctor later. I think that everyone can relate to this phrase in a very good way. I hope you have enjoyed watching my video. Thank you for watching it. See you later.